mission is literally to fill in the gaps. You know, when we started the magazine, there was definitely something missing from music journalism. No one was even touching jazz, soul, funk, or anything like that. So what I was trying to do was essentially look at hip-hop through that lens.
We were part of this audience, and we knew there is an audience out there. And we also knew people are wanting something new, something different, actually wanting something old. And that was the key. People, you know, digging for old records, and it seemed like everyone you met had old record collections.
Young people come to this older music. It's through hip-hop. It's hearing someone sample something and say, oh, yo, I gotta find that record that, you know, Primo or Dr. Dre or whoever used on this track. So it's sort of like, you know, it's like a time machine. You use hip-hop to travel back to pick up on everything that's happened before.
Intelligent people buy Wax Poetics magazine. That's all you can say. I mean, it's a magazine, you know, based on the culture of music, you know, not a hip-hop thing, not a soul thing, just people that are into vinyl, they're into just good music, and that's what Wax Poetics is about, and that's the type of clientele that come to Fabby's looking for Wax Poetics.
I felt like this was the first time someone's ever made a magazine dedicated to people like myself. There's a lot of people out here who want to know more about the stories behind the records that they have. I mean, every single issue that comes out has someone featured in it who's probably lingering in my collection somewhere.
We dabble in the new and the old. So, you know, I try to make sure we've got a good balance of everything. You know, the last issue we've got Betty Davis and Too Short on the cover, but we've got Ornette Coleman article on the inside as well.
They're also cool. They're very vintage. They're hard to find records. And I'm really into like the cover design. Something like this. You would never see this.
I wanted to create something that, you know, when you finish reading it, there would be no way that you would ever think about putting it in the trash.
A sample of some of his more descriptive song titles suggests Donato's comfort with musical hybrids. Lacking a name for his style of music, Donato's is a distinct sound, immediately recognizable from the first few bars of any of his tunes. He was funky back when funk was a bad word. Listen to either of his 1960s Brazilian LPs for proof. His compositions are deceptively simple, while his arrangements are harmonically complex, resulting in songs that are seemingly childlike, yet reveal their intricate details upon repeated listening. Probably what separates the people who read Wax Poetics and people who read, you know, Rolling Stone or something is I want to know about music that I don't know about. You know, like when I go out to a club, I want to hear music that I don't know. I don't want to hear the hits that I can listen to at home.
For me, it's the best magazine in the world. Like, it's my favorite magazine for music. Because what it does is it kind of bridges the gap between an older generation and a newer generation. You get like people who may be in their 50s or 60s that were avid jazz collectors or soul collectors, music lovers that were buying records since the 50s, 60s, and they could get into it, as well as like the young hip-hop kid who's like 18, 19, who's curious about grooves and breaks or hip-hop in general.
In another 20 years, there'll be even more people wanting to learn about this old music. It's not going to be less people. It's always going to be more people.
I'm on a mission here. I mean, this is something that drives me every day. I'm inspired by this music, by these stories that these people tell, and some of them are not going to be around much longer. It's important that we get them now, get this thing down in print, and have it preserved for future generations. And so this is Wax Poetics. I mean, I understand from what they've gone through and some of the experiences that we've had growing up with hip hop, how this all fits together. And this is really just our way of saying, hey, Thank you.